Hello everyone and welcome to PendulumEdu, and here in this session for vocabulary I'm going to discuss with you guys a new set of words. So without wasting time, let's begin with today's session, and the article for today heads as breaking up on lawsuits against Facebook. The headline itself has a word that is lawsuits. Now through this only you can get the zis, right? That is, they were talking about Facebook amid all these legalities that it has besieged itself, or maybe by the axe. Okay, lawsuit is a noun subject, which means a case or a legal process running. It can be against one entity or multiple entities. Now lawsuits is plural form for lawsuit, that is singular. So noun can be this noun subject can be singular and can be plural as well. If you talk about Hindi, it is termed as एक तरीके का मुकदमा. जैसे कि कोर्ट्स में जो केसेस रन होते हैं, हम कहते हैं ना मुकदमा चल रहा है. So मुकदमा is lawsuit. So we can verify it through this Hindi term. Further, the writer writes, while not throttling innovation, regulators must keep the spirit of competition alive. Not throttling innovation, that is not attacking. Throttle is a verb, okay? Throttle. Usually throttle is an action word which is used to express or depict to kill someone by strangulating. Okay, that is gala dabakar marna. That is throttle. That's the exact meaning. But we can use it in this way. Throttle, indirectly it means to attack, right? So throttle is to attack or kill. So what are we doing? हम किसी पर हमला कर रहे हैं, या फिर आप किसी चीज को खत्म कर रहे हो, एंड कर रहे हो, उस चीज को आगे बढ़ने से रोक रहे हो, हिंडर कर रहे हो, ऑब्स्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हो. So the writer says, without throttling innovation, without harming innovation, we should look forward to the regulators must ensure that the competition stays up. Okay, because see what is happening. Facebook is acquiring every other social media platform that is coming up, that it judges that this is the competition to itself, and it acquires the same. So what is happening? The competition is dying, and people believe that the innovation that can come up is somewhere getting obstructed. So the lawsuits against Facebook by the Federal Trade Commission and the Attorney General of 46 US states, the District of Columbia and the Territory of Guam are a significant challenge to the dominant interest. This word is an adjective that we are using, that we can see right here, that is the dominant interest. Now dominant is an adjective which means major, that covers the major portion. जो कि substantial interest है, internet empire, जो कि major हिस्सा cover करते हैं, that Mark Zuckerberg has built in such a short time. So in such a short span of time, Mark Zuckerberg has managed to come up with such a big empire. This is what people are challenging at present now, whether it's the Federal Trade Commission, whether it's the District of Columbia and Territory of Guam. All of them are challenging this. Now what is the challenge for, and what are they questioning? We'll come to know ahead. The plaintiffs, working in close coordination, sued Facebook. Sue is to file a case against someone, to take to court. Okay, किसी के अगेंस्ट अगर आप कोई केस रजिस्टर करते हो या फिर आप उनके अगेंस्ट कोर्ट में जाते हो, so that is to sue. So this has sued Facebook on Wednesday for its anti-competitive conduct, which they said harms users, advertisers, competition and innovation. This is what they have to say. This is what is happening according to them. This is what they believe. The basic charge is that Facebook, in fear of competition, plays by an anti-competitive strategy playbook. This is what I just explained you, that it is the only step that it takes is to acquire the possible platform that it finds as a competition to itself, and in future it can be a threat. So with that fear, what it does is it tends to, or it comes up with a plan or the strategy to just acquire it. Further, it either buys potential competition, or if it cannot, cuts them off from accessing its large platform. So Facebook, what it does is either it acquires it, or it doesn't let the other like the so-called competition take any of the participation itself in this such a large platform that Facebook owns. Money is no bar in buying of potential competition, as the $19 billion purchase price of WhatsApp in 2014 shows. So this was the amount that was paid when it acquired WhatsApp in 2014. So this is an evidence that money is not the factor behind not being able to buy the potential competition that Facebook has, but there might be other obstacles. The lawsuits highlight Facebook's acquisition of Instagram and WhatsApp, which happened when Mr. Mark Zuckerberg saw them as real threats to Facebook's continuing success. So when Mr. Zuckerberg saw that these platforms are coming as a threat in future for Facebook, what it did, it acquired it. Whatever Facebook cannot acquire faces, as a lawsuit puts up, the wrath of Mark. Wrath is a noun subject, guys. It means anger, and that too, like full of anger, something that has fierce or immense anger. That is wrath. हम कहते हैं ना like when you get angry, गुस्सा जो होता है, but बहुत ज़्यादा like कहते हैं ना एक extent जो होती है उसकी, that it is like I would say extreme or fierce anger. This is the term that I would give to it. Now, the acquisition जो हो रही है, acquisition is noun, that is to take over. Okay, कोई चीज़ को खरीद लेना, take over करना, कहते हैं ना प्राप्ति, या फिर to take over something. So because of that, if a particular platform or the organization doesn't agree to be acquired by Facebook, it has to face wrath of Mark, that is Mark Zuckerberg. तो उनका गुस्सा उनको झेलना पड़ता है. It may be years before the lawsuits are decided one way or the other, but not even the noisy fallout of the Cambridge Analytica scandal was as much of an existential threat for Facebook as this issue could turn out to be. So there, if you guys remember, there was an Analytica scandal pertaining to Cambridge, okay, and Facebook. So between two of them there was a fallout. Fallout is a noun, I must tell you. Noun subject, which means a tussle or a struggle or fight. Hindi में हम कहते हैं विवाद. So there was a fallout between, and the writer says that this fallout or this issue was not as much or as harmful as the current situation is for Facebook, wherein the plaintiffs and these lawsuits are putting up forward. For while highlighting its lack of concern for privacy, a taint that Facebook has struggled to shrug off, a taint that is कहते हैं ना दाग या धब्बा, so it's a stain. ठीक है, taint is noun. तो एक तरीके का जो negative जो एक छोटा उनके ऊपर जो stain लगा हुआ है, that there's lack of privacy when it comes to Facebook, and indeed it is. Most of us have experienced it. So it has been unable, so Facebook has not been able till date to shrug it off, which is to disapprove it or to disprove it. which means definitely there's some loophole that's still working on, and there is lack of privacy when it comes to Facebook. The Cambridge Analytica scandal did nothing to stop the social network's roaring growth. It did nothing. Roaring growth, that is increasing at great intensity, at great intensity or at a great pace. So it could do nothing at that moment also. That scandal also could not harm it much. Facebook, which last year made a revenue of $70 billion, right now has a market capitalization that is just a shade under $800 billion. So this is the evaluation at present that we are talking about. These lawsuits could potentially endanger this business success. Endanger, that's a verb which means to put in danger. कहते हैं ना जोखिम में डालना. तो ये जो लॉसूट्स अभी चल रहे हैं फेसबुक के ऊपर, या फिर जो चैलेंजेस थ्रो किए जा रहे हैं, जो एक्विजिशंस लगाए जा रहे हैं, these all of these things can definitely put Facebook in a big trouble. Okay. The action against Facebook, however, is not to be seen in isolation and is linked to the growing backlash against what is called big tech. Backlash is noun which means a negative impact. ठीक है, किसी चीज़ का जो विपरीत एक इम्पैक्ट आता है, ऑपोजिट, जो जैसे if you see, for every action there is a reaction, right? So for, let's say that reaction is negative, that is backlash. Okay, so it says that we should not just target, or we should not just look at Facebook alone, okay, but it is a backlash for all that comes under the term big tech globally. Okay, Europe and the US especially have moved against these technology companies, not just on antitrust charges, but also on cases involving violation of privacy. There seems to be a growing realization about the disproportionate clout. Clout, that is, disproportionate clout is like to come together and form a group, that these technology platforms have in the global scheme of things, which they exploit to further their domination in the industry. So at present, if you see, what are they doing? There is disproportionate clout means probably there are biasness that has been experienced. There's biasness that has been experienced, and the technology platforms, if you talk about the global terms, these technology platforms that we have stated above here, that is the big tech, what have they done? They're exploiting the others who are not the dominant part of the country, or if you talk about on the whole, on the globe. And this, it is futile for regulators. Futile is an adjective which means useless, of no use, something that probably would not make significant impact or have significant effect on the present condition or any such process that probably runs. So it says that it is futile for regulators and policy makers to continue with the light touch approach in the technology industry. And this is why, if see, there is a particular section of society that is dominating the market, then for regulators also it becomes difficult, or the people who are there to play a role of a mediator. Okay, that we talk about arbitrators. The term that we use in professional term is arbitrator. So those who work as an arbitrator, it becomes difficult for them as well to come up with I would say an idea to resolve issues. Okay, so it becomes difficult to resolve all these in the technology industry for the policymakers and the regulators as well, because of the dominance of such big techs. The writer has also added, in fact, calls for the breakup of technology firms have been put forward by politicians in the US. With its immense scale, immense, that is great. Okay, it's an adjective. अधिक जिसको हम कहते हैं in Hindi. So immense scale, Facebook has on more than one occasion managed to startle regulators. Startle, that is surprise. It is a verb which means to surprise. किसी को आश्चर्यचकित कर देना. So Facebook has always managed, and this time also it has managed to startle regulators and administrators, not to mention civil society and activists, by its grandiose plans. Grandiose plans. Grandiose is an adjective used right here. It means pretentious. Plans that are there to challenge, okay, that are there to create challenges for others. But these are the pretentious one. कहते हैं ना दिखावटी. So दिखावटी plans के साथ, pretentious plans के साथ Facebook has come up, and it has again startled the regulators, which seem to threaten the existing world order. That is order. We're not talking about sequence, we're talking about peace. The offer for a free limited version of the internet and plans for a new digital currency are a few examples. So since it is in monopoly, okay, it has a great market share, so definitely it can disrupt and it can harm, okay, the world order. So there's an example quoted right here, that the version of internet and plans that are used. Internet monopolies are not a feature of just the developed world. These are, see, if you count that internet growth or the monopoly the industry is having is a feature, is a sign of a developed world or a country, then this is not true. They are everywhere. And it would be useful for governments and regulators to draw the right lessons from this. If they want to keep the spirit of competition alive, then they have to learn a right lesson. So here, Facebook and Mr. Zuckerberg, they are wrong, and they have to realize this, because they're killing competition in the market, right, through their strategies and plans. And the plans that they have are grandiose. They are just for show and nothing to make impact. So this is what the writer has to say about the entire situation and the suggestive measures that are given in this last paragraph as well. And these were the words that I wish to discuss with you guys for today. And if you wish to go to the list of the words, it is right there on our site. You have to go to the link given in the description, and you can get the list right there for your practice and reference. You have synonyms, antonyms, and example sentences to practice. And if you seek help, you can write to us. Also, you can comment and let us know the words that you remember. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed it yet. Thank you so much.